Hello everyone. It's Moon Goddess 777. Happy Sunday to you. Good energy, good vibes, healing, wealth, prosperity, balance of the masculine and feminine energies. I was talking to a spiritual sister last night, also a family member. We stayed on the phone basically like all night, just vibing and talking about some things, doing some. I guess I was looking at my horoscope and it was saying that I was going to have a conversation that was very meaningful in the next few days. And I was just thinking it was a relationship as far as, male versus female, but it actually was a conversation with a female, and it was a very deep spiritual conversation. What we were talking about with a lot of different issues about, the healing process and what we have experienced as growing up as black women in the South, and the struggles we have faced and the things we have come through and everything. It's been a journey, but I wouldn't take nothing for my journey, and without all of those different struggles and the hurts and the pains and the heartbreaks and the ups and downs, we wouldn't be who we are today. But I just wanted to what I'm doing is connecting with my sisters and my spiritual sisters and spiritual mothers, or whoever, just to get some input on some things I'm trying to do and put together. My first book, Keep It Real, it was based off of a relationship that was a marriage or whatever, and a lot of hurt and anger, I will admit, and just it was a healing tool. That's what it was. I didn't know it in the beginning, but now, having come through doing the shadow work, which I'm still working on myself. I'm a work in progress or whatever. You're never done doing work to yourself. You're never done ascending and shedding off the ego, shedding off of those old mindsets, those old ways of thinking, those things that you have to struggle with on a day-by-day basis to ascend to who you were sent here to be by the Most High, the Holy Mother, the gods, the goddesses, the Orishas, and the ancestors. Ashe, Ashe. Oh, but some of the things I want to discuss today is about the black woman and how we have to be more accountable about our actions and the words we speak, the energy that we put out, and of creating the reality that we want. And we can't blame others. We have to take accountability. That's what I've done over the years. It's not about being famous anymore or being caring the outside. It's about the inner work. It's really about the inside soul, and healing of ancestral traumas, childhood traumas, adult traumas, and things like that. A lot of times we are afraid, as I was myself. I'm not speaking about nothing that I have not experienced. We're afraid to face ourselves and to go inside our soul and to really find out who we are, and and get in touch with that little girl. I was just speaking with someone, and I was telling them, speaking in the spirit, was telling them that it's time to heal the wounded little girl. As women, we go on and we work and we have these families and we raising children and grandchildren, and we have different relationships where we date and we get married, or you got cohabitation going on where people live with people for a while, but we never really take the time out to really sit alone and really say, who am I? Like, aside from all of the influences of society, aside from the influences of religion, and aside from influences of our parents, the way we were raised, we never take the time to really sit down and figure out who we truly are. And that's what it's time for us to do as a community of women, as sisters, united, not just in competition and, capitalism, but it's time to heal each other, because what affects one person affects us all. And it's time for us to come together as a community, as a nation, and not wait to be saved or look for the politicians to save us, as far as, the Democrats, the Republicans, or the presidents, or none of that. We have to save ourselves, and we have to take the initiative and the accountability to fix our own communities, because it starts with us. It starts with us coming together, and it starts with us healing ourselves, healing each other, healing our ancestors, mothers and fathers, healing our own children, healing the men. Like, it starts with the women. A lot of times we have to realize that we are our own worst enemy. It's no enemy that can harm us more so than ourselves. Our thoughts. Our thoughts are actually creative. We weren't taught a lot of these things in school about it's not just what you speak out of your mouth that has power. It's also the thoughts that you think that creates your reality. And we are actually co-creators in this dimension. As women, we are the feminine energy, but we have to be balanced with the masculine. We can't be one way or the other. We have to be balanced, because if we do, then that's when you have a lot of other issues that come in, as far as psychological, mental issues, and health issues. We weren't taught these things about, lining up, being in tune with nature, with the universe, with the divine, and chakra alignment and things like that. That affects us in so many ways. Just by not doing the work on ourselves and giving energy to an outside source, it's all in us. You have, I was afraid at first, when I went through my dark moments of the soul. It started for me like several years ago, and I was running. I ran from it for a while, but it comes a point when, like I told someone recently, you can run, but you can't hide. You're going to have to face yourself. You're going to have to face your fears. And fear is just, it's actually false evidence appearing real. It's really, it's all an illusion. We have to take accountability for our actions and our destruction of the Black community. How we treat each other, how we love each other, how we communicate, the thoughts we have towards our women, towards our men, towards our children. Also, we have to embrace the good, the bad, and the ugly, and be real with ourselves. I mean, it's not doing anyone any good to put on a front. I'm not saying because I can be a very open person, because I'm not ashamed of anything that I've done or anything that's happened to me, because it's all a part of the plan. And I know everybody's not at that level, and that's okay. It's a process, and you don't have to be just like me. I don't have to be just like you. We all have ways of doing our part to make this a better nation, to make our nation a better community, to make it a better society for ourselves and for the children. I mean, it's not all about materialism. It's about spiritualism. It's not all about personal, me. It's universal. What affects me affects you. What affects you affects me. And also, we got to get out of that waiting on a savior, syndrome, waiting for somebody to save us, waiting for the right Prince Charming to come along and make everything okay. Like, we feel like a lot of times that once we get married and we walk down that aisle, and that's it. Like, I mean, that's all I need is my better half. They have, and it's not all on us. We've been raised as a society of women to feel like we're not complete unless we have a husband, unless we have that perfect man or that perfect mate, and that is not true. It's all in you. You have to become that person. Now, my spiritual sister asked me last night. She's like, I noticed, like, you're okay being alone. Like, you're good. Like, you're okay. Like, how do you handle being single or being, to yourself? Because I told her point blank, I'm like, because I've learned to actually love myself. I've learned to actually enjoy myself. I actually have learned to laugh at myself and have a relationship with me. I mean, I've come to a point where I actually love me. The good, the bad, the ugly, the flaws of the mistakes and all. I have embraced myself totally, and I have actually come to a point in my life where I actually praise myself and I pat myself on the back, even for the little things. It may be something where I get triggered by an old energy of, set. And I say set because that's the lower ego. And that's where the word Satan comes from. Set. That's that lower ego, when you operating in that root chakra, and you're at that animal state where you're at a low vibration state. And then from what I've been studying and researching, that's below 432 megahertz. A lot of times we don't know these things, and we're not aware that we're operating out of the ego, and a lot of times we're acting in an animal state of anger, aggression, or worried about what somebody think, and I gotta be right all the time, and it's my way or the how. We're not operating at that heart chakra level of what is that, 432 and above, of love, of compassion. And I'm not just talking about just love, like you can say you love me, I can say I love you, but there's different types of love. I'm talking about unconditional love. That's a different type of love, where you love regardless of, like, without receiving anything, without even feeling like you owe me something because I did this for you. That's something a lot of people don't know nothing about. I know, honestly, I really didn't know what love was until I reached about around like over 30. I did not know. And they don't tell us, like me and the spiritual sister was talking, we're going to get together and do some things also as far as collaborating, because before I, not trying to get off the subject, but actually, excuse me, and I'm not crying, my eyes run like that sometimes. I mean, it's cold. It's a little chilly, but I'm good out here. I like to get out and breathe in the air even when it's a little chilly, but sometimes the cold can whatever cause it, whatever. But actually, we have been in a situation in my family where we were divided for a while. It was actually, I'm not gonna say personally, it was the enemy. And I say enemy, I'm not necessarily talking about, everybody want to talk about the devil, but it's our lower egos. It's us. Yeah, it's a such thing as evil. It's not, but dark energies. It's such thing as dark energies, and it's a such thing as demons and lost spirits and all of that stuff. But actually, it's really us. It's our lower egos and the things that we have been taught as far as black women post our mothers and our grandmothers and great grandmothers post-slavery about other women. We've always been taught, well, you don't trust no woman. You can't trust no woman. You can't. That's actually, when people telling us that and telling you that, that's how we thinking about ourselves. We actually hating on, as they say, hating on ourselves. Because why wouldn't you want to trust another woman? Why wouldn't you want to have a close relationship with another woman? Why wouldn't you want to love another woman in a close relationship? Not saying intimacy as far as, lesbianism, but that helps you. That helps all of us to be able to love and know that we got each other's back in the community. Like if I need my sister, she gonna be there for me, blood or not. Like, we got each other back. We are holding each other down. I mean, these mindsets that we've been taught post-slavery, even about religion and different things, we're gonna have to do a reset, a reboot, get out of these illusions of and get out of these illusions and actually get into reality, because a lot of the ways we thinking, it ain't working. It hadn't worked for us. It's time to do a reboot, a reset. It's time to change our mindsets about the way we think about things. Even since the assassination of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, and how the 70s movement has brought in the feminist movement. A lot of times we don't know that affected us in this generation, and then my daughters and sons' generation, how it was actually targeted to emasculate and just wipe out the alpha male. And when I say alpha male, I'm not talking about what a lot of men, because I do a lot of research too, and I look at both sides. I understand where the Midtown guys are coming from with a lot of things. I understand, how the guys feel about, the black woman. It's a lot of division between the two sexes. I mean, it's a lot of hostility and hurt. A lot of that stems from the mother. A lot of that stems from, how we were raised. The fathers being taken out of the home, the emasculation of the black male and the alpha male. And when I say alpha male, I'm talking about that strong backbone man that's what they were sent here to do. They are protectors and providers. And when that ability was taken from them, it's like we as black women were used as a tool to help destroy them even more. And if they, walking around here, a lot of them don't know whether they question their sexuality. They can't provide, and they have put us up on a pedestal to be able to make more money than them, and they feel like, it's hatred. And they knew that's what that was going to cause, for the most part. And we didn't know no better either. As women, I know I kind of always knew what time it was. I don't know how I knew this as a child and things like that. I do, because I was kind of like maybe able to access my Akashic record even when I was into Christianity. As a small child, I do remember being out in the sun and in nature a lot. That helped, being in nature, being out in the sun. I always had a strong connection with the trees and stuff like that. And I saw like how it was like they were using the women in our communities against, the men to actually, do their bidding or whatever. What really was very awakening for me before I actually started going through my deep shadow work. I ran from this area. I was running. I used fame and making money and materialism and living the high life, and I was just big time. Everything I always did, and I was in my ego. It was always big. My motto was always go big or go home. If I did something, I said, I only get one life. And that's a lot to do with my alignment of my astral chart too. I have actually gotten to know myself a lot better and have realized that, my chart, it has a lot of placements and stuff, and my houses has a lot to do with my personality, my subconscious, my conscious, and everything. That's a good thing to do to know, who you are via your placement and the time you were born. You want to know the exact time you were born, as far as the morning or evening or the nightfall or whatever. Me and my spiritual sister, we were talking about that last night also, and she's she's very, very good with that. I told her if I was at that level, then I would actually be professionally doing it. And I'm gonna give you my sister's name. We have come so far. Tiffany Serene. Yeah, that's my family. Yeah, she's sister is deep. Yeah. Also, we gotta start looking at each other as sisters and mothers and as our ancestors. We gotta look at each other with love, unconditional love. And this here is a very uncomfortable. We gotta start having those uncomfortable conversations. The things that we don't want to discuss, we have to discuss them and be balanced enough to use effective communication, not blaming. It's your fault, it's my fault, it's you, it's me, we're mad. We have to be able to talk like grown women, like goddesses that we are, and discuss these things and find solutions, because the answer is with us. We are the key. We are the key. The black woman is God, but if you're not acting like it, then you're not going to get treated like it. You're not walking in your power. We can go around here saying that we are queens and we are goddesses, and we're beautiful. We're in a league of our own. It's nothing like. I've always admired my sisters of all complexions. don't even care like about none of those types of things as far as, you know, complexions, or if you're skinny, tall, short. Beauty is in all different forms. Yeah, to all my women, but I'm specifically focusing on my black, aboriginal, indigenous of the land, and all over the world, my sisters, how we have become the the tools that we are hurting our communities. I mean, the mothers, the way they raising their children, you know, the mother is tolerating the daughters, and they're loving the sons, and these men are growing up to think that that's how it's supposed to be, amongst our relationships and dealing with women, and you know what is it called? Excuse me. This Mercury retrograde, communication, communication. Come on, ancestors. Misogynists, when they hate women, like they actually are been doing it. Tupac said it in his music. He said they would hate the ladies that made the babies, and here we are in February of 2021, and the prophecy has been fulfilled. They hate the ladies that made the babies. And ladies, we gotta ask ourselves, why? Why is there so much hate from the black man against the black woman, and the black woman against the black man? Why? Why are we here? What, you know, we gotta go back. Like, that's what I had to do. You know, I'm not telling you nothing that I have not done for myself. I'm not gonna just talk about something. I'm gonna try to practice what I preach the best. I'm not gonna say preach, communicate, because I don't consider myself to be a preacher. I consider myself to be a communicator, a healer, a spiritualist. You know, I consider myself to be a priestess, at the point of even, I'll say it, a high priestess, because to be at a level of a high priestess, you have to have a group of women that come to you for advice, and you help them and heal them and support them. You know, I'm not going to necessarily say a coven, but similar to a coven. And that's what I've been doing all my life. I've been healing myself and healing other women, not just women. I'm here, you know, for the men too. Trying to do deep soul searching, trying to figure out like what happened, like what as I do for myself, like what happened to me, when did I get here? You know, issues of molestation that our community has been just bombarded and just devastated with, incest, molestation, abuse, verbal, psychological, and all the drugs and sex and those recreational activities are just band-aids to try to cope with the deeper underlying issues that happens in our community. A lot of people are grown people now. They older than I am, up in their 60s and 70s, and they're still fighting their demons of childhood, of abuse, of molestation, of incest, of hurt, of the mother a lot of times. Yeah, the father, I'm holding them accountable too, but a lot of times, you know, we women, we can either create the atmosphere in our homes and of heaven or hell. You know, we really matter. It really, we actually set the tone. And I'm speaking for myself. You know, I was married I was a teenager when I got married. I didn't know the first thing about a relationship, or hadn't even really had a serious boyfriend. I just was like feeling my way through it. And I ain't, you know, I'm not trying to be like vulgar, but that shit was real, because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I knew how to go work, make some money. I knew how to be beautiful. I knew, I guess, from reading romance novels and looking at a little bit of porn, I probably knew a little something, but I won't really that experienced sexually, but I would have studied. Like, I'm the type of person, I always research stuff. Like, I don't have to actually go out there and do it to actually understand it, because I do such deep research. But at the same time, I didn't know the first thing about love. I didn't know what love was. I was too young to know what love was, because I hadn't had enough experience in life. Not saying that wasn't a good thing for me, because I grew up in that marriage and I learned a lot, but I wouldn't advise nobody else to do something like that. I mean, we should be, in our community, we should have classes of parents. It's time for us to educate our people. As ladies, it's time for us to come together and educate our children, educate our people about marriage, But we got to know what we talking about. We have to know, like, I don't have to be. I was married for like 20 years legally, so I'm single now. But I know the fundamentals, what it takes to make it work and what it takes to break it. Like, I know. Like, I know it's not about. It's even though I don't agree with the patriarchal society marriage thing, as far as the way it's done and the everything, because I actually believe in polygamy. And it's when you think of polygamy, a lot of us are very closed-minded. We think about monogamy, and it's all about me, and I was like that too. I was like that for a very long time. Well, he's mine, that's my husband and my boyfriend, and he belongs to me, and another woman better than I. See, that's the took growth for me. That's the mindset we have to get out of. Polygamy and cheating is two different things. Polygamy and deceit are two different things. We got to learn the fundamentals of polygamy and how it will build our empire, our nation, and our community. These are things we need to talk about. There's such a shortage of men, black men, and how is it that we can be okay in our relationships, in our marriage, in our communities, when we're in a very unhealthy community? You can't have a healthy relationship in an unhealthy community. We got to rethink these things, because actually in ancient times, our ancient ancestral mothers, they the one that put these rules down about polygamy, because they wanted every woman in the community and the empire to have a man. And that would be where the children would be, okay. Like, not saying that he got to go out here and sleep with. I mean, they doing it behind your back now, though. Like, they're doing it because it's such a shortage. I mean, I had to come to this realization. Why is it that we gotta pretend and look the other way like this is not going on, and then they have shit like me, for instance, my situation. Okay. And I know a lot of women, I talk to a lot of my sisters about this issue, polygamy or whatever this thing. And they're like, you must be crazy. You must be out of your mind to actually even phantom anything. I said, honey, it has nothing to do with me. I mean, I didn't just wake up one day and say, oh, I want to be in a polygamous relationship. It's happening with or without us. I mean, my personal experience was, my ex-husband had a baby with a lady, and we were legally married. When that happened, we was kind of like, going through some things, but, we were still legally married, and, hey, so it was not crying. I'm definitely not crying about that, but it was a process for me. A lot of bitterness, a lot of anger, a lot of resentment. Many years ago, I dealt with a lot of things, so I know how that feels. Not saying that if I would have let him be polygamous, it would have worked out, because we're not ready for that in our communities. We need classes to the fundamentals, because when we think of it, we think about sex. That's all. I mean, it's such a low vibrating, low thinking community. Like, we don't think about corporations and empire building, nation building, putting businesses together, and people putting incomes together. And not even just money, it's about mindsets coming together. And you can do more with more heads is better than one. We don't think about things like that. We think about me, mine. I mean, it's a very, very, and we raising these men like that, and they are little bitches. I mean, honestly, like, I never seen such feminine men in my freaking life. It's such a freaking turnoff. I like a man that's balanced with the feminine and the masculine, but come on, I can't handle that. I can't. I think I'm balanced, and I'm old school too, cause I'm not used to that. Like, don't be whining and crying to me all the time. I'm a water sign. I'm a water sign with an air moon, so I can be emotional enough for the both of us, and I gotta check my damn self, because I'm like, when I be in a relationship, I'm like, this man don't want to hear all this shit. He don't want to hear me complaining about every little damn thing. He already a black man. He already got to go out here every day and worry about if he gets stopped, if he gonna survive that shit. And I do too, as a black woman. It's not safe for us like that neither. But I'm going to speak protection from the ancestors, from the Most High, from the Holy Mother, from the Divine, that we are protected. We are blessed when we come. We are blessed when we go. We are protected, We are. The chosen ones are protected. And I'm not just even talking about race, because it's a lot of people, you're going to be surprised. They look like them or whatever. I don't know. I used to be into all that. See, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm the type of person. That's the name of my book, because even before I really fully woke up, I was keeping it real. Excuse me. Dropped my information. Excuse me. I'm not perfect. I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. I think I had an issue with, because growing up as a darker skinned black woman, I always seen the colorism too. That's another thing. We are really fucked up when it comes to that, especially in this area. I'm in the South. I'm in North Carolina. Oh God, Jesus Christ! I be like, is we free? Is we free, Pastor? Like, is we free? I ain't never seen so much damn people worry about. Even growing up, complexions of the children, if they dark, oh my, dark skin, like, who gives a fuck? But it made me sort of like, in my younger days, not now, but all my people, I love all my family or whatever, but I would be like, after I got older or whatever, when I was a teenager, real, I'd be like, oh, he lighter skin, he cute or whatever. But then when I got up, I was like, I don't want to be a dark skinned man. Ain't nothing like a light skinned man full of shit and blah blah. That's wrong. And I went through some stuff with a lighter skin after the marriage. So that didn't help me at all. I like what I like, and people got their preference, but we shouldn't base the stuff off of. It's not just wrong to discriminate because somebody lighter skin. You don't prefer darker skinned people. You accept people. Even a white person could be your person that really is your best friend and help you. I know we have reservations about people's skin color because of what we've been through post-slavery and even what's going on now, but you got a lot of people, some people of other races will help you more than your own family members or people that look just like you in it. I'm just saying, you got to be led by the spirit in this thing. You can't, because a lot of the people that look like me, that look and darker than me and lighter, they using them as tools against you and in the black community. So you can't go nowadays, you can't go by that. Because they use them and put them at the forefront, and they be the first one to destroy you. Because they just like, since Malcolm and Martin and the people that, I know I heard rumors about the people that it's inside. We hurt each other from the inside out. We destroy ourselves from the inside, and we destroy each other from the inside. We need more loyalty. Once you get in touch with yourself and know it ain't all about somebody offering you some money for something that you can't sell. You can't sell something that don't belong to you. Your soul don't belong to you. Everything belongs to you. Everything belongs to you. We are wealthy. We are healthy. We are blessed. All that dingling of a Mercedes Benz, a Bentley, all that shit. Come on. Really. Are we going to be like that? We done had everything. Yeah, it's good to have money. You need it. You got to have it because of the way, since ancient Egypt, and they have actually taken the free materials as far as energy